Looks like we have a video. Backwards, everybody's here. Got the screen up there. Looks good.
All right. Well, we will call our meeting to order. This is the Lookingglass Fire Board meeting for August 14th. And we will start with our pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'm just going to lead us in a quick prayer. We'll get this meeting going. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us together, watching over us, and bringing us through our fire season safe and sound as much as can be done. Continue to watch over us, and thank you for the cool weather coming in. We really appreciate it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Roll call. Paul Reardon here. Mark Bennett. Absent. Bill Sarnes.
Here.
Rob Nicola.
Here.
David Smith.
Here.
Steve Rhodes.
Here.
And Justin Fox.
Here.
Additions to the monthly agenda, if any. I don't think there are, right? Okay. So first thing we have to do is approve June and July minutes. So can I?
So June minutes, I'm gonna work on it tomorrow. I'm gonna be working the next couple days, so we need to get them on. I'm gonna transcribe them off the video because we don't have.
Did you guys have, because I didn't think you had an active meeting, you didn't have a
Well, we
quorum.
had the budget meeting and we had the June meeting,
Right.
so I'll get them off and transcribe and we'll do them next month actually, okay?
Okay, so are we gonna hold off on approving minutes?
We
then?
can do the July minutes because they are here.
Okay.
And then anybody that's listening, after I post the video tonight, our June meetings are on video on the website so they can look at them. And then we'll have it up next month.
Okay. All right, so can I get a motion to approve July minutes?
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes, minutes approved for July, and June is in holding. Okay, so financial report and a motion for the bills.
Okay, we,
So you have a June report and
June
we'll talk about
report.
the July.
we had $18,714.49 in expenses. We had a balance or a minus of $8,352.46. A balance a negative. We have $201,101 in the money market account. Public account, we got a deposit of $109,695. So that gave us a balance of $109,695.33. Bank charges was $15. We wrote a check for $107,983. I don't know who to.
That went to Vitus Construction.
Vitus,
That was the
okay.
first construction.
And so our public fund checking has $1,774.68. This was June, so we don't have anything for August yet.
I can talk about some of them. I don't have a written report, but I got the statements here, so we can talk to it. And but as we enter this in, Trista will give us a regular report.
Okay, I'd like to have somebody make a note to pay these bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, motion passes.
Can I go on with July then, or real fast?
Sure.
So our July regular savings account started out with $200,101.21. It ended with $170,102.75. We ended up transferring $30,000 to our checking account, and I'll discuss that in just a second. Umpqua Bank, yeah, that was that, so that's the savings. For the seismic account, we had the $109,757.68 at the beginning. We paid Vitus $109,757.68, and then $1,774.68 of that went back to the department. That was a reimbursement for our storage containers and a couple other things from Seismic. The checking account, we started off with $8,424.82. We wrote 25 checks last month and 4 electronic transfers. Because of the SAFER grant, and now we have the wildland staffing, we're doing electronic transfers to the IRS and ORS for our taxes each month. And then we are writing checks. We've written 2 sets of payroll checks for our wildland firefighters. That's about 20 checks right there. And so we deposited $31,712 from the savings, and we wrote $29,650 in checks that went out. So their balance truly was $10,486. It's actually more now because I want to talk a little about this in the financial part. Is we're using our reserve fund right now as a savings account for all these reimbursements, and we got about $20,000 back from SAFER the other day. So that we put into checking account. So our checking account right now is sitting around $20,000. So that's a good place because with all our payroll going on. We have $9,000 out. The VFA grant, they owe us $9,800. That should be coming in. I submitted it mid-July. It should be coming in. The last thing we have out is we have about almost $300,000 out on this seismic grant right now for construction and stuff, and about $15,000 of it's out of our account because they're having to test all the mortar, block, concrete, and everything that they're doing over there, and Vitus cannot pay the contract, the testers. So every time those guys come test, and they've been coming down once a week, it's between $3,000 and $5,000 that we've been writing checks for. And but that's out to be reimbursed right now. The problem is our first reimbursement we put in on July 7th has not come back yet, and I'll talk. That's in my chief's minutes, but we've been hounding them about what happened. Well, they had a seminar, so the first time when we sent it in, an automatic message came back, we're out for a week. And then the second time we sent it in, I'm on vacation for a week. And then when she finally sent it to the fiscal side where they write the checks, I think they're on vacation too or something. So anyway, Vitus, I talked with him today, Mr. Vitus, Corey Vitus, and he's going, yeah, you guys, I'm gonna bug her too, because we have $300,000 out of our savings account right now that we paid the construction company that we need to be reimbursed. I go, I understand, and I've been calling his accountant about once a week and telling her what the status and all that stuff is. And they're I wouldn't say they're used to it, but it happens. They've got like 6 jobs going right now with the state, and it's happening. So I think this time of year it happens. Anyway, I would when Trista enters this stuff, she'll put out the regular report like she did. So I wouldn't recommend that you guys approve anything tonight. I'd wait till she actually does all the entry and stuff. I think she got COVID actually, and then she picked up something else. She's been out for over a week down there at her place. And I just want to tell you our savings account's down, our checking account's up, and we have about $20,000 out that they owe us, and that'll bring us right back up to where we were.
Okay. So we won't be paying any bills today.
Well, we're gonna write some checks, but we won't have the official financial report because we do have to pay bills anyway.
So do we want to not allow that motion then? So we take that motion off the table? Is that correct? Because there was a motion to pay bills.
That was for the June bills.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So we're
So
gonna
nothing for July.
But
Right.
nothing for July, but we need to still pay bills.
Right.
But do we need to make a motion?
So all you'll do is approve the payment of them next month after we
Okay.
write them out, and she enters them in the system.
Okay. All right, so then we're on to communications report.
because of the season, we've had a lot of hits, and Justin's been, I don't know if you guys have been on our website lately, but you should take a look at it. There's been a lot of improvements to it, and we had about 2,500 plus views last month, so I think it has a lot to do with fire season and everything else, but we're also on Lookingglass. What's that thing called? Lookingglass neighbor.
Oh, next door.
Next door. Justin's putting stuff on that. We're doing a lot more social media outreach. I don't know how much we're getting back from it, but we're doing a lot more anyway. Just to let you know.
Okay. Anybody, do we have any public comments? No? Okay. So we're on to you, Chief.
So Chief's report, July was pretty hot. The fire season took off pretty fast here with the weather and everything. We had 21 total calls, 9 medical, 2 MBAs, 7 natural cover fires, 1 lift assist, 1 false alarm, and a hazardous condition was somebody mowing or doing something they weren't supposed to be doing. We had natural cover fires in District 2 in our area. We gave mutual aid to 1 over in Olawa. We got help on ours, and we did 5 automatic aids to District 2 areas. Excuse me, now they're called Central Douglas Fire and Rescue. So we had wildland fires in Camas and 10 Mile, and then we had the 2 lightning nights that came through here, and all heck broke loose. We didn't. We had a lot of strikes. We got a lot of rain in our surrounding areas. Those things came through. It helped us a lot.
Yeah.
But all the remnants of the other lightning strikes is what's going on up there on Highway 38 and everywhere else. We had more wildland training. Justin, we're going right now through our annual certificate or biannual certification for DPSST. So he's working on that. So this year, instead of them coming out, they sent us a packet that Justin's been working on, their task performance evaluation. So we test everybody. DPSST picked what they wanted us to test or evaluate everybody on the year. This year it was SCBAs, PPE, ladders, water supply, hose pulls. So they've been doing that. Shoot, we probably did it for 2 or 3 weeks now. 3. Yeah. There's a new firefighter academy starting in 10 Miles, so we're going to have some folks over there. We got 1 or 2 people that are real close to being firefighter 1s. They're going to finish up their classes. And we're working on fall EMT courses for some of our people. It'll be through safer funding, and we're just working on the costs and how that's going to happen. We got a few people that wanted to do it. We got a lot of online training going on. Justin had set up so all of our OSHA training is online and stuff, so we don't have to dedicate time on our drill nights to that. So a lot of folks are doing that. We've been doing a lot of physicals, not only safer employment physicals, but we're doing physicals for driving and if new people come on, we're doing just a DOT physical. If a safer person comes on, a firefighter 1 candidate, then we're doing a little bit heavier duty physical. We're paying that up front. They're running about $700, and then Safer's reimbursing us. So it just takes a while to get the money back. Been doing recruiting actively. I want Justin to tell you a little bit about the programs we got, especially for our cadets, and then we've got a new program coming up.
So Recruit Hippo is more for our cadets. It's a program that I found that will pay kids 16 to 18, as long as they're in school, or a part of the school, they'll pay them $15 an hour to come in for 160 hours. So they've been shadowing the summer staffing. The downside to the Recruit Hippo is there has to be 2 volunteers in at a time over the age of 18, so which is why the summer staffing has worked really well, is they're in there. The downside to it is they're not supposed to be on active fire. There's certain things that they can't do, like they can't run a chainsaw, they can't actually go, initial attack a fire line, they can't, basically they can come in afterwards, they can cold trail and they can help dig line and stuff like that. So it's been one of those that I've been trying to make sure that they're in there just Monday through Friday, that way I'm in there, so if we do get a call and we need to pull them out from that crew, we can. The new one that I just found is it's for kids 16 to 24 that aren't associated with school, either dropped out or over the age of 18, but no school association whatsoever. And they'll actually mimic what we're paying our summer staffers. So we're paying them $21 an hour right now. They'll pay them $21 an hour for 160 hours. I'm still in the middle of trying to set it all up because it's a sister program for Recruit Hippo, and they're trying to figure out the insurance about it and all that, because of being on an active fire line. Obviously their insurance is going to go up, even if they're a volunteer of ours, which the whole idea of this is we get them hooked with that 160 hours, we get them in, we maybe get them some certificates and stuff like that, and then they get to see it, they want to keep doing it, so then they stay and they continue to volunteer with us. Or they can start work, like we have one guy that he is in the middle of filling out a smoke jumper application right now. So it's great on him. Really not going to be cool when he leaves because he's a really good guy, but at the same time, good on him for doing it. But hopefully with that, but even if they become one of our volunteers, they still have to be covered under the Recruit Hippo and the other program is called Workbox. It's the sister program for Recruit Hippo. They have to be covered under their insurance. They can't be covered under ours. I mean, they can, it's kind of dual coverage, but their insurance has to go first. So they have to figure out their funding kind of stuff.
Anyway, what happens now, if you go by our station, there's 4 or 5 people every day because we got kids hanging around and they're all in t-shirts and boots, and they're learning hose lays and ropes and everything else. So, and they're getting a lot of work down there. Let's see, equipment. We just kind of covered what, I gotta change that to cadets because now they're not explorers anymore. Equipment wise, we're picking up our new tender tomorrow from the state, so that's like Merry Christmas. Justin and Misty are going up in the morning. We had a few extra issues that happened with that. One is that it was valued at $380,000. Now it's valued at $475,000 because they made some changes to it. So we got to up our insurance. I talked to the insurance guy today. He actually came down to the station for another reason. So, but anyway, we can pick it up tomorrow and bring it back. So it'll be ours for the rest of the summer. 1031 that failed up there at the pump test a month or so ago. It's going to be going to Oregon Fire Equipment in Eugene for estimate repairs. 1080, our newer brush truck. We had a fire over in Camas Valley. What's that been, about a week and a half now, 2 weeks ago?
August 1st.
And it was damaged there. They had some real erratic fire behavior in a wind event, and the flames overtook the left flank, which our engine was on the left flank along with some other guys. Justin's handing out a after incident report they've done about the near miss on the Kirkendall fire, is what they called. Justin, Misty was on it, and I think Robbie was on it too. Is he in it?
No, it was Maxon.
Oh, Michael?
Maxon.
Or Max, okay, Max and the pastor's son. They did a valiant attempt to protect that thing, and a large fir tree, a dead fir tree was right there in torch, and there's a lot of radiant heat and everything. And basically, they had to leave or else get hurt. And thank God nobody was hurt. There's more of a story here, but they had 2 helicopters working that fire, and one helicopter saw what was happening and dropped on our engine and cooled the area down, and they were able to get back in there and get the engine out of there. They left the pump running with the hose on fog as they left, so that kind of stopped the spread also. And we had some radiant heat damage to lights, mirror, paint, and the grass fire got underneath, and we had some damage to some electrical wires, the running boards, everything plastic was melting.
Right.
But bottom line is, after we're all done, the emergency rear lights, somewhere in there the wire's been burned through. We had Maverick Mobile that does a lot of our mechanic work. I had him come out first, and he went underneath it, and it looks like we because they're a Rosenbauer warranty place. But he's supposed to give me a list of what he thinks needs to be done under there, and if it's below, if it's 5,000 or more, we'll probably turn it in. I've already filed a claim with insurance, but they're waiting for the estimate, and I talked with them today. If it's below 5,000, we're probably gonna repair it here. If it's over, the insurance said because of our record, we don't have a record on any incidents or anything, that even with, we got a 500 deductible. If we turn this in, he doesn't anticipate us experiencing increased risk and penalties and all that stuff. So it all depends on what our guy, his name's Tyler, he's got a list for me of what's down. The biggest thing we saw under there was there's a computer that runs the transmission and everything. It took a lot of heat, but everything's working right now, and it ended up that they thought that was going to be real expensive, and I think the worst, I think they said it's $300 or something, so even if it's bad, that's not going to be that bad. So anyway, if you guys want to review that report, that's fine. So it looks like we're going to do this local, and if not, we're going to be taking it up to Eugene. Because of that, we moved some items from the new 1080 to 1081 so we can increase our capability of that engine. Right now, at this point, I'm going to use 1080 in our area. I'm not going to be sending it out to, like the other night, they asked for a Type 6 for a conflag out to Tiller and somewhere else in East Warren again. And we're turning them down. I'm not going to send it out far away until we make sure we know that it's totally safe to go somewhere along the way. So that's that on that. Facility-wise, there's a lot of work going on the building. The foundation work's all complete. The roof work's continuing. The roof work turned into a massive, I don't know, they have hundreds of hours up there. And finally, last week, they got the architect and engineers up on the roof and said, hey, look, this is what you're asked us to do, and this is what we got up here. So the architects and engineers finally changed their mind, and they're going to change what they're going to do on the roof. So the result of that is it's going to be easier, but they had to reorder supplies, whatever they're going to need, so they pulled them off the roof for about 2 weeks. So they left it up there covered in plastic so we don't get rained on, hopefully. And then they'll be working on the roof a little bit later. In the meantime, painting's coming up next. They've already power washed it, and they're priming some of the spots. They're going to be painting inside and out. Interior drywall and insulation should be happening really fast. And paint, electrical's already gone in there. One great thing about them building that interior wall is they blocked off our heating system in the garage, so that allowed them to put in AC and heat in our offices. So we got Adcox has already put in ductless heating and AC in our office and our training rooms, which we never had before. That's great. Also, there's going to be electrical upgrade. Evidently our electrical panel was pretty much maxed out, so they're going to bring in 400 amp service from Douglas Electric, and there's going to be a 200 amp panel on our building and 200 amp panel on the exterior pole structure out there. We park vehicles out there that have to be charged and stuff, so at some point we can enclose that, make a garage, and have all the power we need to do what we want out there. Theoretically, with the contingencies, we're not going to be paying any money out of that, we hope. So I have about $20,000 in relocation funds. We've only spent about $2,000 of it so far. We may be applying that money, $18,000, to that electrical change because of the fact that we have vehicles out there that have to be plugged in. So the state is probably going to buy off on it, so they'll pay for it. So we're hoping that happens. That's about it on the facility. You guys are welcome to come. There's people there every day if you guys want to come and see what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on there right now.
I just hate getting in the way. I've seen it drive by like 4 times a day, you know.
I was almost gonna, we actually have some temporary lights in the old training room. I was thinking about having our meeting there tonight. You know, there's metal framing on a wall and block and everything else. It's a mess in there, but we could have.
It looked good on the website.
As far as office administration, there's a lot of paperwork going on. The SAFER reimbursements we got back, so that was really big because that brought our checking account. I was starting to get worried a little bit about using our reserve fund as a bank, and when we have a lot of money out, we've been hoarding that thing for a long time just to, keep it as a rainy day fund. But it's backed up a little bit. Vitus Construction, I think we already talked about this, they're kind of saying the same thing. Let's see, the Wildland started July 1st, work schedule's being filled, Bob and Justin are working on that a lot. I can say that during the day our response times are down a lot, we're getting a lot of work done. The guys are they're going to medical aids and grass fires, and the natural cover fires we've had, either in other towns around here or ours. These guys have been out there and on them fast, so we've been real good at, lucky this year, keeping them small. The audit process is still going on with Hanford and Associates, just getting more statements to her and check registers, transaction lists, and all that stuff. It's still going on. Every Wednesday we're having on-site meetings at Vitus and ZCS, either on-site or Zoom. It's usually every other week. And there's been some change orders for the electric and paint and other things that's going on. We already talked about the damage on the Camas Valley fire. And the budget process was completed, all the documents were into the county by the 15th, so that's over for the year. And Justin, there's more training and public stuff going on. You want to talk about any more?
I'm gonna help with 10 Mile with their academy, with the caveat that we sneak some of our personnel in there. It takes a lot of resources to set up a fire academy, and if you try to train a volunteer just every Thursday, it takes about 3 years to do it. So it's not feasible. By the time that you get done training them, they've forgotten everything that they first started with. And, so we're actually talking about a combined academy that we run every year, from instructors from Lookingglass, from instructors from 10 Mile, and we're even trying to add Camas into it so they can send people into it. For one, it gets us working together, that we're going to work with each other on calls anyways, but it's kind of sharing that load. We're going to continue to work with the Grange. They're going to start doing 2 bingos every year now. So the volunteers haven't heard about that one yet, but they'll hear about it Thursday. So we're going to continue to try and uptick the public outreach and get out and let people see us. It's not just the person that shows up in the emergency. You know, we're the ones that we're down at the store with you. You know, buying a soda pop, or going out to eat and we're eating right next to you, that kind of stuff. Lookingglass School is getting ready to start again. We'll be there on day 1. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I can't say for sure it's going to happen just yet. Hopefully it does. We're continuing to look for funding for modular housing so we can have showers and a cooking area to maybe start implementing shift work. And now it's kind of sounding like we might need to start looking for funding for a satellite station so we can put an engine out floor on. So.
Steve, have you talked to the guy over there on Coosby Wagon Road when you come around the corner off of Flournoy with those big shops that are?
No, I've never been over there.
Oh, Branding Iron?
Yeah.
About using it as a garage or
It
something.
isn't hers, is it?
No, well, hers is up there, but
It's up further.
yeah, the guy that used to own Native Rock.
Oh.
He used to live right around down the road from me.
What's his
He's
name now?
Native American, I believe, or his wife is. They have something to do with 7 Feathers the last time I heard.
Oh.
He's the one that put Madrone, I think Madrone floors in. You know, you have to dry those forever.
Yeah, we'll be looking for any kind of opportunity that we have.
You know, Mary and I, had talked about maybe if we could get power and something you could use down at the lower end.
Yeah.
So I know when Bonneville was there, they just stuck a pole out there when Bonneville had 5 acres in my place. stuck a pole out there and had power out there. 4 o'clock in the morning was like a city out there when they lit up everything.
We're trying to learn about all the grant opportunities. AFG this year, the same grant we apply for every year for a new engine. They're supposed to have one specifically designed for reconstruction of volunteer fire stations for just what we're talking about, dormitories and kitchens and stuff. So after we get done with this retrofit, I'd hate to tear it apart, but there's 10 Mile has, for example, what's that guy's name in Roseburg, one of the big architects. They've already got plans for an expansion on their thing, and they just have it canned right now. If you have a canned project like that, then Commissioner Boyce, or Representative Boyce, or Val Hoyle, or them, they've been getting a lump sum every year to do stuff in their communities. So Kellogg got a brand new fire station out of that. They're building right now for like $3 million, and that one came from Val Hoyle's slush fund. I hate to say that as a negative, but that's how it came out of her fund that she was granted. So, so we're just looking at all that kind of stuff. Anything we can do to try to grab something, bring it back. There's a lot of stuff going around right now.
Nice. That's about it on that? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't want to cut you off.
yeah, that's good. Old business, I think we covered it all.
We did, we
Yeah.
covered the old business, and we know we're gonna have to meet next month to go over the July stuff.
Yeah,
And then the new business, wildland staffing funds, we talked about, the fire damage, we talked about county's incident,
yeah.
construction status, that's it. It looks like we're
I think
up
we
to
did.
President's report.
Yeah.
I have nothing to report, other than Cabo was fantastic. Sorry I missed last meeting.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I went to a wedding down there. I couldn't say no. I was in the wedding. So, do we have a director's report? Nothing. No board member comments. Public comments.
Thanks for, we got a guest here tonight, James. What's your name, James? Tell everybody.
James Moulton. I guess I'm usually in the Grange meetings, but Justin convinced me to come to this one.
He lives up on Larson, and odds are you're going to be our new vice president of Grange or something. I heard maybe. Is that true?
Yeah, Neil asked me if I'd do it.
So we're gonna suck him in. Hopefully.
Got voluntold?
So you'll volunteer for the Grange as the vice president, but you won't come over to the
Oh,
fire
we'll figure
You
department.
guys are on the list.
Yeah, we know where we rated this operation.
Yeah.
You guys are on the list. Like they quit probably in November, and then I'll be hopefully around to send me out to Argentina in December.
Anyway,
Well, he looks like he'd be a good.
he's a good guy,
fire.
and know him a little bit from the activities here at the Grange, and he's a good local citizen to have. It's good.
Nice.
And we have Misty
Oh.
here.
Huh? And Misty's here tonight, of course.
So real quick, we got a couple pallets of this liquid death. It's carbonated water. So the gold one is mango flavored, the silver one is berry flavored, and the black one is just static water. You guys are more than welcome to try some. We have more than we could ever probably drink, but then again, I hate to say that because that's actually what everybody's been drinking the last couple of days.
So that's what that grant came from, a Budweiser grant. They do fire for wildland and fire departments across the country. They came down the other day with a big giant Bud Light truck in our parking lot, and they had this custom F-550 or something, some big wheeled monster, like a monster truck, and took some pictures and stuff and said that they had this extra stuff, so they're just getting rid of it.
Well, in my defense, they said, would you take a pallet of liquid death? And it's like, sure. And then it's like, okay, I'll bring two. It went from, we were just supposed to get 2 pallets of just the canned drinking water and then a pallet of the liquid death to, it became 2 pallets of the liquid death and a pallet of the drinking water.
Oh, nice.
So my wife approved it because she always checks the ingredients, and it's agave
Sweet.
syrup sweetened and
Yeah.
water and fruit stuff. So I mean, there's nothing in it. So it's actually not like some of the stuff they try to sell you.
The label's just very intimidating.
Yeah, and I think it's a small company that Budweiser took over. So,
Right.
yeah, anyway.
There should be a story on the box.
Yeah.
Just like say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with that, our next board meeting is September 11th. Can I get a motion to end the meeting?
Make a motion.
All right,
I'll second it.
all in favor? Meeting
Aye.
adjourned.
Okay, now we have to write checks and sign
Okay.
checks.
Yeah.
Okay, board buddy